TV. Now, in an era where digital platforms are beginning to dominate the dissemination of information, traditional newspapers find themselves grappling with dwindling patronage. Yet, behind this shifting landscape lies potential job losses for newspaper vendors and others along the value chain. Citi News' Daniel Sakti in this report places a spotlight on the evolving landscape of information dissemination.
Meet William Odame, a man in his mid-50s. He has been in the sale of newspapers for close to 40 years. He tells Citi News that in the past, the business was profitable as his newspaper stands were patronized often compared to recent times. He blames this on the advent of technology.
1989 na mobile mai and ubenya news na this publishers na beko or reporters current correction news and to win news from free baby a day ya publish it and so na obetumi anya news and to need to me to lie e wo graphic ho paper be a no e to lie and so na wanya bi na fe technology no e buy from 2000 ago no after the obia nya news no wo mobile and a laptop we do sabo ya na nyoma ni nyina beguso enti technology na eko ha nya no na adwuma nso say.
William Odame is not the only one who finds himself in this situation. His other compatriots, also in the newspaper business, share similar sentiments.
But the radio stations na bebreni ho, enti newspaper review na TV bebreni ho nti ama obi a depending on newspaper. Nti ama ni turn go fast. Daily graphics say one talk at least 30 copies, 40 copies now. So hot news bank one day, but me to more than 100. Ghana heading. Ubi nya sabia sa 5 cedi nukrabia odibeto bibia di. Ohun say newspaper nukrabia o kan kra bia onya mfaso bia oso. Nti so di told you need krabia obemen. Nti press nukabade na press ndi e wo fompa.
With the increasing economic pressures, life is becoming difficult for newspaper vendors as they consider alternative businesses, including the sale of lotto papers, to supplement their income. They express fears that technology may eventually push them out of business.
Lotto papers, no, the lotto paper they will be incorporated to lotto paper say, or they call online, I go working, and the lotto paper na boame. And all the big one work here. Unya resource ana unya utumi unya wini normal enti say wo beto paper no na wo work enti demand ni a great a chain graphic
you say na wo person wo turn na banya profit no unya enti as a normal life wo so be fa no sa say na wo so be yi enti ya sometimes you be say who say enti say adwuma yi bia wo so ambition bi so be bibi say adwuma e betimi aye na so ka wo sa
the digital revolution has not been without its consequences. As readers migrate to online platforms, traditional newspapers are grappling with declining patronage and financial uncertainty. With just a few clicks, anyone can access a wealth of news sources from around the globe. Social media platforms have become virtual newsstands where headlines are curated and shared at lightning speed. For some newspaper vendors, the only thing keeping them in business is the patronage from the corporate organizations.
Yeah, and I vendors just so Emma and any subscriptions. Oh my, Anna Sabi. She be any state departments in yeah. Now and also supply.
Managing editor of the daily satellite newspaper, Kenneth Ej Cranche, laments the detrimental impact of newspaper review segments on radio and television on the patronage of newspapers. For him, the shift towards online platforms has forced his outfit to rethink its business model.
The newspapers go through the same stress of gathering information. Then somebody buys one copy. Sometimes they don't even buy. We give it to them as complimentary. Then They go and sit on their television and radio and say, oh, newspaper review. And then they read the whole paper. So the person at home does not have to spend money. He just sits behind his television or his radio set and he listens to the entirety of the newspaper. And the person can then tell everyone, today this is what Searchlight said, or Ken Crunchy's paper, today this is what it said. It's not but a copy. Eventually that leads to me not being able to pay my staff. So the newspaper industry, in my opinion, and in fact, as a matter of fact, has collapsed. The way forward is, for instance, I have established a website called GhanaNewsstand.com. GhanaNewsstand.com. It is a single website of its kind on, I think, on the whole continent of Africa, or very few. We vend newspapers. We vend newspapers in the e-platform.
With the highest readership and circulation in the country, Daily Graphic newspaper has also developed the News Plus app for the distribution of soft copies of its newspaper. Not all, however, prefer online platforms for the news. For some senior citizens, hard copy newspapers still remains their preferred choice.
Oh, my office, we buy newspapers, almost all the newspapers. Because of business, we don't have time to read much during the day. But in the evenings when we have gone home, you sit down and then you go through all, because the information will help you who is reading it to advance your course. So if you don't read it, you cannot get the information.
Meanwhile, some young persons have been highlighting their preference for online platforms for news over newspapers.
Looking at the traditional way, as I said, it's very, very limited. If you want to update it or upgrade it, you have to wait like months or years to get like new or recent information. But looking at the social media, it's very, very quick. It's very, very fast as well.
The advent of technology is definitely having an impact on the newspaper industry. This is because consumers have a diverse array of online platforms to source for news information. For newspaper industry players, they need to adapt to the changing times to stay in